Yeah, the last leg was a really intense race. It was actually our last sort of transoceanic leg, but at only 7 days, it was very much a sprint. There was very little margin for error slowing down. You had to push hard all the way. And I think moving into the next leg, leg 6, is going to be no different. It's going to be some very different sailing because it's going to be primarily coastal sailing. It's a sort of bigger feature on the sort of navigation element, getting around the coast, land effects, and all these sort of things. But I think in terms of the pace of the race, it's going to be the same, or if not even higher. With only 3 days, there's no real chance to come back if you have an issue. So everyone's going to have to be fighting in the front all the time. We're in a good place now. It's nice to be on top of the leaderboard, but in some ways nothing's really changed. It's all very tight at the top, and we've still got to approach every leg, one leg at a time, and go for the win. So I think, again, we've got to push hard and push for a great result. And I think the atmosphere in the team is great. It feels like we're really gathering some momentum now. The sailing team's performing well on the water. The shore team have done an incredible job to give us a really well prepared boat, and everyone's positive and really excited about the finish. These last couple of legs are going to be pretty intense. The schedule's getting pretty intense now because the stopovers are short, so everyone's got to work really hard. But no, I think it's good. Everyone's really excited for the end of the race. This next leg 6, from here in Århus to the Haag, is going to be a very challenging leg. It's actually very different to the legs we've sailed so far in this race, in as much as there's a lot of coastal sailing. It probably gives less scope for tactical options, and it's more about being fast and managing the conditions, managing the sail changes. We leave here and then we go south down the Baltic to Kiel, which is going to be very busy. Rather than being in the open ocean, there's a lot of stuff we have to navigate. We're navigating down the coast. The Baltic's quite shallow. We've got to be very careful with the shallow areas and sandbanks, and make sure we make the right choices where there are options to pass things in different directions, that we're thinking about the winds and how that's going to affect things tactically as well. Once we get down to Kiel, we turn around, we sail back out the Baltic, so even more coastal sailing up to the top of Denmark. Then from there on down the North Sea, there's a few more tactical options. The race course gets a little wider, but even in the North Sea, there's a lot of TSS areas. We've got to avoid a lot of exclusion zones. So often these exclusion zones sort of create tactical options, and you've got to make sure you take the right lane. But I think this one's going to be a very closely fought race, and I think the fleet's going to be quite close together. So it's really going to be boat on boat racing full on for 3 days.